20 weeks pregnant, cheated on, what now? I've been dating my partner for the last year and was enjoying what I believed was the best relationship of my life. Super intentional, loving, and peaceful. We found out we were pregnant, and red flags slowly started to show. He didn't want to tell anyone that we were pregnant and had a hard time considering moving in together and being open and vulnerable about how he was feeling. Fast forward to being 20 weeks pregnant, he took a trip back to where he used to live, and I accidentally caught him cheating. Very long story short, after catching him, he admitted to maintaining this relationship with an ex over the entirety of our relationship via text and sexually when he visited his old town, maybe 3x, during our relationship. He also admitted to maintaining an emotional texting relationship with another ex. He also said he cheated on me once with a random person. This all happened before we found out we were pregnant, except for this last time. He also lied to me about his work, his school, and other things he was insecure about. He has come completely clean now to me, his friends and family, and wants to make things work with me. He is going to therapy and tells me he knew the truth would come out, and he's glad it did, so he doesn't need to hide it anymore. I want to forgive him and give him a chance to be the man he says he can be. I'm struggling to know if I should let him stay or bite the bullet and try co-parenting. Has anyone dealt with something similar? Any advice is welcome. Second story, am I overthinking this or is what it is? So we've been together for about 10 years and have had a lot of problems as of late, too long to list, but something happened today that confused me a little, so we're out and about at a public event and we stopped by a street vendor, picked something up, and I was putting it in a bag. I looked up, all of a sudden she froze, gave a nervous glance like a side eye, and scratched her cheek. I don't know how to explain it, but almost like she's seen someone that she wasn't expecting to see, and kind of that nervous twitch of someone who's got their hand caught in the cook jar kind of thing. To further explain, it's a small town, and this event is where everyone meets. I've never seen her act this way, but it was just odd. A couple of times, I don't know, it felt like she just uncomfortable for no reason at time. She was recognized by a couple of people while we were out. But this seemed really odd. Am I reading too much into things? Or can someone explain what that means? I have an idea, but don't want to just jump to conclusions either. Thank you in advance. Third story, boyfriend might be cheating on me. I think things have been good. Sometimes there are small difficulties, but they have been resolved. He too has shown satisfaction to our relationship, and I have had no reason to doubt anything. We have been dating for about 2 years, with one breakup. I always thought that after the breakup you just won't get back together. But somehow we just drifted back together, and things got really good thanks to that breakup. We needed it in terms of our relationship. We were apart for a few weeks. Today I found a condom in his car. Not used, it was between the front seat sun visor mirror. Oh, also sorry, my bad English, not my first language. The condom was between the mirror and mirror cover. Without exception, I use the mirror every time, to add makeup or to see that the makeup has not spread, etc. I get in the car and today that mirror moved badly and rattled a bit. I looked and wondered aloud if there was a condom. I saw it partially and it looked like a condom. At this point he got a little difficult and was nervous. We started driving. I picked up my food and in the meantime he tried to remove it but wouldn't. We started driving towards the store and while he was in the store I dug it out from there. And it was a condom. First he said it was probably from the previous owner of the car. We also had a breakup in October of last year, so he had sex with someone else. We weren't together, so he didn't cheat. And he said that it might have been left over from that time, and for some reason would put that there. But it is not possible, or could be, but very unlikely. They were bought sometime this year, January, April, in February, if I remember right. They also had the same expiration date. Also, they were the kind of condoms he was unlikely to buy. At least he lied about their might being from the previous owner because the car has been owned by him for several years, so the condoms would have been old by now. And why has the mirror worked normally before without rattling and moving poorly? And why did he become nervous? Later at home, I brought it up. He asked if I suspected him of cheating, and I said I do not, but this makes me very suspicious. However, he did not deny cheating on me as we spoke, and didn't even defend himself in any way. I also find it a bit suspicious, and no one else could have put it there but me or him, and I have not done so. It's unreal, like I do not believe this is real. I am disappointed and sad. He wouldn't do that, not he. I have trusted him. That's why I've never felt the need to go through the phone, for example. He didn't come to sleep next to me. I'll talk to him in the morning. Fourth story GF of 10 years has an STD. Am I overreacting? Hello guys, I really do need some advice right now. I'm sorry in advance, BC. English is not my first language. Sorry for the long post and thank you for taking time reading all this. So, my GF, F26, of 10 years told me, M26, about 3 years ago, that she made a blood test and is positive of herpes genitalis. She had to test her own blood during her study in university, as a course in a laboratory. We met at school and became a couple really quick. We shared our first time together and there was no red flag or STH. Similar up until this day 3 years ago. She told me right away that an infection could have happened during birth, and this is what I believed, but it still bothered me ever since. I really didn't look into this deeper because I trust and believe her, but it came to my mind now and then, but I played it off as simple, stupid thoughts of doubt without any proof whatsoever. Maybe I just wanted to ignore and forget it. I really don't know ATM. After reading a lot of stories about cheating partners and infidelity, this story came right back to my mind a few weeks ago, and there's no day going by without me thinking about it. I had to know more. That's why I decided to search online for the HPV, and the chance of getting it during birth is extremely low. Normally you get it during intimacy/BJ/sex, you know what I mean? Well, I confronted her with the situation and my doubts. She laughed at me and my concerns, more like a nervous laugh, and told me the only man she ever slept with was me. I do trust her, and she is the love of my life. I never cheated on her and I love her dearly. She is my best friend and stayed with me during clinical depression. Am I getting crazy? My gut feeling tells me I'm missing STH. But I feel horrible after bringing up this topic. Do you think I'm overeating? I would appreciate your opinion. Thanks. Top comments, wow, I just read that HPV is the most common STD. Said like 80 to 90% of sexually active PPL have it. While you may be her first penetrative sex, does that include any form of sexual contact? She could have given a BJ or whatever and gotten it that way. Is she saying that she's never done anything remotely sexual at all with anyone else? If she has, then it's possible she had it before she met you. She may have not been fully honest about her sexual history too. But given she has it, aren't you concerned about you getting it too? Or I guess maybe it's too late at this point. Even if she didn't cheat, I'd not be thrilled to be constantly exposed to it. That 80 to 90% stat is insane though. I don't know if that's true, but just somewhere I read. I guess to me that seems absurdly high. I guess it's lucky I never caught that or any other STD. That's why the 90% stat is troubling me. Seems like everyone would have it if you sleep with more than just a handful of people. Second comment. Yeah, man, I'm guessing she's done more than she let on. She didn't accuse you of giving it to her, did she? If she had zero sex experience besides you and she tested positive, she should be fuming at you giving it to her. She would be asking if you cheated or caught it before. I think, BC, she didn't accuse you at all. That makes me think she knows she caught it somewhere. Either cheating or doing sexual things before marriage. I'd get tested if I were you. Before marriage, I used to get tested pretty regularly. BC, I was fairly sexually active in the community before marriage. Third comment. Yeah, man, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I'm actually usually telling people they are overreacting and reading into things too much. In other words, I usually tell PPL not to assume cheating. But as I read more from your post, those things really stuck out. And unfortunately, that's the conclusion that seems most likely. The fact she didn't blame you is very telling. If you are literally her only experience, she would assume the lowest probable way of getting it at birth. She'd be assuming just like you are. She'd at least ask if you cheated. That's the most logical thing to say. But I think she knows that there is a chance she got it from someone else, so she blew it off and downplayed it. I don't see any other reason to downplay it and not be accusing you.